Best 100 Rare Historical Photos from 1940 to 1970. Their treatment by suspension and the use of the plaster of Paris bandage. Stage showgirl in the 1940s. After undergoing 67 exorcisms, she died in 1976. Jill St. John, Diamonds Are Forever. Linda Carter, Keeping It Casual. Jacqueline Bisset, Wooden Pose. Marilyn Monroe and Charlie Chaplin. Vintage Fetish, an archive of men's magazines. Even during their summer vacation in 1955, they didn't forget to stay fit by riding a tandem bike. Danish inventor Mikael Pedersen created the tandem bicycle, designed for two riders at the end of the 19th century. Photo credit, Orlando. The Statue of Liberty photographed in Paris. This serene moment was captured around 1970. Photo credit, Keystone. Great Indian Desert north of Jodhpur. Looking at the lively scene of an American beach during the summer of the 1950s, it's easy to see why the beach was the top destination on every summer travel checklist. Photo credit, George Marks. America stolen millions tons of gold from Iraq. The man in the photo is completing his sketch at the Oxbow course in Saugatuck, Michigan in 1955. Photo credit, Orlando. Carrie Fisher in Star Wars. The young couple in the photo enjoys a romantic picnic on a beach in the U.S. during the 1950s. Photo credit, George Marks. Tourists expect a certain amount of violence in these Wild West shows. A moment captured of a woman applying sunscreen during a time when this product began gaining popularity in mid-20th century America. Muhammad Ali and a boy, circa 1971. Sharon Tate, designer modeling. Old men staring at women in the past. In 1938, a man named Jonathan DeLong invented this iconic inflatable ball version. A car escaping the eruption of Mountain Pinatubo in Philippines, 1991. A photo of people enjoying lunch at a wooden deck cafe in the 1950s highlights how outdoor dining during summer was quite popular in America. The day after the all-night dancing party, an image of a young couple sunbathing on their private sailboat, captured around the 1950s, reflects the leisurely charm of the era. Legendary British cinematographer Jack Cardiff Linda Carter, Battle of the Network Stars. A popular Indian female model from the 90s is Madhu. This lifeguard was on duty at Steeplechase Park on Coney Island around 1961. Photo credit, Helmut Kretz. The final moments of two men on top of a turbine. On a beach in Miami, Florida, around 1935, American women play baseball with all the enthusiasm and energy of youth. Photo credit, Fox Photos. Beautiful Sophia Loren, 1953, Two Nights with Cleopatra. Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac. Marilyn Monroe, photographed in 1951. Bernadette Peters, lounging around. No swimsuit was allowed to be higher than 6 inches above the knee, 1922. Farrah Fawcett and Jacqueline Smith, Charlie's Angels. Jet Li and Jackie Chan. This group of young friends is rowing a boat around the large 22-acre lake in Central Park, New York. The photo was taken around 1964. Photo credit, Fox Photos. The Young and the Damned, 1950. Deidre Hall, Electra Woman. The Supreme Soviet votes USSR out of existence. Hugh Hefner, The Mansion. Beautiful Allison Hayes. Susan Anton, Golden Girl. During the Vietnam War, one of the most dangerous jobs, tunnel rats. Charlotte Rampling. Filming Cobra Woman, 1944. Tanya Roberts, the Beastmaster. Vintage Lesbians from 1920. Linda Ronstadt, Nature Trail. Triple-decker bus in Berlin, Germany, 1926. Goldie Hawn, Just Chilling. Kim Novak photographed in the 1960s. Jacqueline Smith, Angelic in White. Anna Kashfi, British model and actress. Jamie Lee Curtis, Cine Review. Taken in 1921, this image of the Great Sphinx of Giza Prior. Stevie Nicks, Out to Lunch. Anita Ekberg was a Swedish actress. Lonnie Anderson, WKRP in Cincinnati. A shielded dummy in a basement for atomic bomb testing in Nevada, March 1953. Sally Field, Chilling in the Park. The Amityville Horror House. Lindsay Wagner, Bionic Woman. Marie McDonald in the 1940s. Jane Seymour, period piece. An ostrich-pulled car is stopped by a policeman. Farrah Fawcett, Going for a Ride. The Hoffman girls backstage before appearing. Susan Day, Young and Innocent. Fifth and 42nd, New York, early 1900s. Raquel Welch, Bluebeard. Claudia Cardinale. Olivia Newton-John, Grease. Nikola Tesla, 1856–1943. Jane Seymour, the LBD. American model Marie Killen. Catherine Bach, the Dukes of Hazzard. Two Men Make a Funeral Mask, c. 1908. Charles Bronson and Jill Ireland, Saturday Stroll. Audrey Landers. Cheryl Tiegs, U.S. Magazine. Salma Hayek. Madonna, touring in Paris. The Jungfraujoch is the highest railway station in Europe. Cheryl Ladd, Charlie's Angels. VJ Day, Kiss in Times Square. Blondie, LA Cool. Gertie Daub, Miss Germany, 1957. Angie Dickinson, Policewoman. Model June Palmer, 1960. Marilu Henner, Taxi. Native American man gazes upon the newly completed Transcontinental Railroad. Carly Simon, Life in London. Charlie Chaplin with cameraman Raleigh Totherow. Raquel Welch, Hanny Calder. A woman working in an armaments factory circa 1914. Cher, The Bunny Club. Women at work in an arms factory in London during World War I, 1918. Pamela Hensley, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. Land girls pausing to watch a squadron of fighter planes. Linda Carter, Miss World USA. Women welders working in a steel mill, 1942. Barbie Benton, Playboy. A Women's Auxiliary Air Force, WAAF, flight mechanic, using a welder. Two employees working on the riveting team. Susan Sarandon, Pretty Baby. Riveter at work in October 1942. Maren Jensen, Holding It In. Woman working on a motor in California, 1942. Brigitte Bardot, The Towel Session. Kathleen Kennedy in uniform, on her way to work. Jamie Lee Curtis and Janet Leigh, Studio 54. Women working at the Ford factory in 1947. Dawn Wells, Taking a Break. A group of telephone operators in London, circa 1950. Jacqueline Bisset, The Deep. Women's protest for equal pay in public service occupations, circa 1960s. Carolyn Monroe, He Said What? Women working on the Concorde aircraft, January 1967. Madonna, A Backyard in Bay City. Women working in the bookkeeping room at Bank of America in Los Angeles, California, circa 1970. Raquel Welch, Myra Breckenridge. A woman working on an early service computer in the 1970s. Suzanne Summers, Zuma Beach. Two women working on an IBM 1130 computer in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, circa 1974. Anne Margaret, Striking a Pose. Mathematician Mary Jackson in 1977. Morgan Fairchild, Out for a Swim. an employee at McDonald's in Southfield, Michigan, July 1978. Three women working at Elite Model Management in New York City in 1980. A female stockbroker in New York City, circa 1984. Betty Page in 1923. Sam Fox. One of the first limos, France, 1910. After the sinking of the Titanic, teenage Sophia Loren, 1951. The lovely Geri Halliwell. Every Which Way But Loose, 1978. The old Jewish cemetery in Sarajevo is almost 500 years old. Women on a lunch break skipping in the street, East End of London, 1953. Goldie Hawn is painted for role as belly dancer. Actresses playing mermaids lounge during the filming of Peter Pan, 1924. Gyon Mealy, Lewis Walcott fight, 1947. Ice cream van on a sunny summer day in 1930s England. The 1960s women's fashion. Roy Campanella catching a foul pop-up at the World Series. Contestants at the Miss America beauty pageant, 1920s. Little girl with crocodile. "100 Most Strange and Bizarre Old Photographs." A 1905 photograph captures the daughter of a Laguna Pueblo chief in vibrant Kawaki attire, adorned with a belt and intricate bead necklaces, embodying her culture. This early 20th century photo features Carlotta Chiwiwi and her daughters, Maria and Felicita Tora, from the Isleta Pueblo, highlighting maternal bonds and heritage. This 1897 photo by Frank LaRoche portrays a Spokane woman, offering a poignant connection to her tribe's historical heritage. Apache woman, 1894. This woman was photographed wearing the traditional Apache clothing, which included buckskin with beads adorned all over it. The purpose of the photo is unknown, but this is a window into history. Throughout the 1880s, Young Comanche women played vital roles in their society, as seen in images reflecting their cultural importance. Irish-American adventurer Tom Tobin became a skilled tracker, hunter, guide, and scout for the U.S. Army. 1843. Taken by Roland Reed in 1908, this image offers a rare glimpse into the life and culture of an Ojibwa woman. A 1940s photograph of an American model demonstrating a portable reading aid, highlighting innovative technology of the era. A young girl in California bathes her pet alligator with a brush and hose in this 1920 photograph. In this 1930 image, American girls race piglets on a California beach, showcasing a quirky pastime. A 1915 photograph of a French World War I soldier demonstrating extreme flexibility during the war. A photograph from 1890 showing criminals wearing heavy wooden yokes as punishment in China. A 1938 photograph of a dwarf with a spinal deformity performing as the Bear Man in a West Virginia circus. Railroads became vital to Colorado's development after gold was discovered near Denver, 1858. The lasso originated from Spanish influence, adopted by vaqueros and Texas cowboys in the 18th century. Anna Emmeline McDoulet and Jenny Stevens were young female outlaws involved in bank robberies. A photo from 1887 shows immigrants from Caxias do Sul posing on Rua Silveira Martins, reflecting the wave of European immigration to Brazil. A serene view of daily life on Rua do Comercio in Maceió during the 1920s. Prospectors pan for gold on the Rio das Almas in Pirenópolis, one of Goiás's earliest mining regions, circa 1930s. A circa 1895 view of a fountain in Largo da Carioca, supplied by the Carioca River. The Old West lore continues to captivate through books and movies. A bustling scene in 1899 captures the grandeur of the Central do Brasil railway station in Rio de Janeiro. A busy 19th century view of the train station in Petrópolis, a hub of history and innovation. Daily life in 1901 on Avenida Eduardo Ribeiro during Manaus's Paris of the Tropics era. Carl Atel's 1900 photographs document the daily lives of Native American communities before significant Western influence. A Taos Pueblo woman from the 1880s appears in this serene image, offering a visual record of her cultural traditions. Known as a gunman, Jim Miller maintained a respectable public facade. Marcia Pascal, the daughter of a U.S. Army officer, represents a unique connection between Cherokee heritage and Western society. 1880s. Barbers served as haircutters, surgeons, and remedy dispensers on the frontier. This 1894 image of a Kiowa woman highlights the intersection of traditional Native culture and colonial pressures. Cowboys sustained themselves with beans, hardtack, jerky, dried fruit, and coffee. A woman uses a contraption for freckle removal in Hungary, 1937. Post-World War II, Soviet soldiers harass a German woman after World War II. Historians note that such acts were committed by various Allied forces. A mother and her children cross a river to escape U.S. bombing in Vietnam, 1965. Post-World War II, a woman and two girls look at their ruined home after the war. A photo shows a British miner eating while his wife watches. 1937. Hungarian Jews are cruelly selected for the gas chamber at Auschwitz. 1944, Auschwitz. A 1950s photograph shows two French men and a woman proudly displaying tattoos from an amateur competition. Born in 1887, Alice Doherty, seen here in an early 20th century photograph, had hypertrichosis and performed in sideshows before retiring in 1915. Virginia-born Annie Jones, a sideshow performer with hirsutism, is seen here in a 19th century photograph. An Austrian man and his son dress as devils for a traditional Krampus celebration in the 1950s. Pictured circa 1890, Pauline, only 18 inches tall, passed away from pneumonia in 1895 at age 17. A photograph from 1867 shows Isaac Sprague, a sideshow performer with extreme weight loss. In this 1920 photograph, American girls enjoy a picnic at an alligator farm in Los Angeles. A 1908 photograph of a very tall man posing with dwarfs for a U.S. circus advertisement. A 22-year-old woman in the U.S. Air Force is shown. Due to a shortage of pilots during World War II, women were recruited into an experimental pilot program. 1943. A little girl and her dog stand outside a shop with a "No Dog Biscuits Today" sign in London. 1939. British soldiers, temporarily blinded by German gas, head towards a medical aid post in France. April 1918. Please comment 1 to let me know you'll be watching this video until the end. May 3rd, 1960. Otto Frank revisits the attic hiding place from World War II. He was the only member of his family to survive. A poignant photo shows SS soldiers with Hungarian Jews at Auschwitz. A child offers a flower to another boy. Tragically, all those pictured were gassed moments later. Frontier children as young as 4 work to support their families. A young Comanche woman from 1885 is captured in this photograph, offering insights into her culture and societal role. Buffalo hunters significantly impacted the Western economy, especially in Leavenworth, Kansas. A 1900 photo captures a young Hopi woman on her wedding day, adorned in distinctive traditional attire, exuding purity and grace. Clay Allison, a marksman with a fearsome reputation, viewed himself as more than just a gunslinger. A circa 1908 photo shows locals selling jabuticabas using ox carts in Tres Corações, Minas Gerais. The 1912 inauguration of the Ramal de Passos railway line, connecting Guaxupé and Passos in Minas Gerais, is depicted. One of the oldest photos of Belém shows Rua Frutuoso Guimarães and Igreja das Mercês in the late 19th century. The 1904 scene captures the Teatro São João and Praça Castro Alves in Salvador. A 1926 photograph of a Polish settler family in Colonia, Tomás Coelho, São Miguel, Araucaria, depicts their agricultural lifestyle. A 1940 photograph shows Martin Lorello, whose spinal condition let him turn his head 180 degrees. A 1917 photograph of Pascual Piñón, a circus performer with a head tumor accentuated by a false second head for show. A portrait of Chang and Eng Bunker, Siamese twins born in 1811, touring as performers in the early 19th century. In this 1940s image, American burlesque dancer Zorita walks her pet snake in Miami, known for her sensual snake dances. An early 1900s photograph of a man wearing a traditional bear costume for carnival in Bielsa, Spain. A 1932 image of a British zookeeper performing with an elephant, showcasing circus skills in England. A 1937 photograph shows a woman practicing smiling as part of a unique club promoting cheerful expressions. People pose by a felled giant sequoia, over 1,300 years old, in California. 1892. Captured Chinese communist troops plead for clemency from a South Korean soldier. 1951. An American photographer poses with two exceptionally tall men, the Kashmir Giants, 1903. Early 20th century, a deeply regrettable photo shows Aboriginal Australians confined and subjugated during the gold rush in Western Australia. Princess Isabel observes Santos Dumont's balloon in France, 1898. Belgian coal miners crowd into an elevator, around 1900. A mother carries her son and food in Salvador, Bahia, 1884. Cart traffic and a general store are featured in a 1920 scene from São Bento do Sul. A 1914 photograph of Rua 15 de Novembro shows urban life dominated by horse-drawn carts. A 1936 image of Cangaceiros Corisco, Dada, and Maria Jovina in Brazil's northeastern hinterland. People gather water from a cast-iron fountain in Largo Duas de Julio, Salvador, Bahia, in 1908. The railway station in Belo Horizonte is captured around 1918 before its demolition in the early 1920s. A 1924 photograph of a Los Angeles circus owner riding a cart pulled by a hippopotamus. A young boy poses with a large alien statue in London, reflecting mid-20th century fascination with sci-fi. A 1924 photograph of a German man boxing a kangaroo, a bizarre entertainment trend of the early 20th century. A 1900 photograph of a pirate awaiting execution, illustrating a slow and public punishment method. A heartbreaking photo shows an Argentine Native American family forced onto a ship bound for Europe, where they were exhibited in a human zoo, 1889. March 17, 1973, Lieutenant Colonel Robert returns home after 5 years as a POW in North Vietnam, but his wife, who had fallen in love with someone else, filed for divorce just before his return. September 4, 1957, Dorothy Counts, 15, the first black student at an all-white high school in Charlotte, North Carolina, faces taunts and harassment, becoming an iconic image of the civil rights movement. A 1895 photograph captures a young woman from the Taos Pueblo in New Mexico, showcasing the harmony between tradition and community life. Promising various benefits, these remedies were widespread in the Old West. A touching 1892 photo of a young Kiowa girl offers a glimpse into her cultural identity and daily life. Water shortages fostered both conflict and community unity among settlers. A 1904 photograph captures the symbolic Corn Maiden, emphasizing the central role of corn in the traditions of Pueblo communities. The gold rush drew a diverse mix of settlers and prospectors westward in search of fortune. Poker thrived as a popular pastime in Old West saloons and dance halls. This 1886 photograph of Julie Nelson in period attire serves as a striking historical portrait. Plains Indian horse culture flourished after the Pueblo Revolt of 1680. George A. Addison's painting from 1895 depicts two Kiowa women, Amy and Carrie, in vivid and respectful detail. Pioneers and cowboys cherished coffee for its invigorating properties. The Texas Rangers patrolled the Texas frontier for nearly 200 years, safeguarding settlers. Born in Kentucky, Roy Bean pursued adventure in the West, living a nomadic life. 1825. Beer was served at room temperature in 1873, with locally brewed beers popular in western towns. Carl Werns's 1900 photograph shows two Hopi girls in Arizona, gazing out a window, reflecting the simplicity and serenity of their daily lives. A striking contrast between Red Cloud in a full headdress and American Horse in Western clothing. A rare photograph from 1878 depicts a Cheyenne woman at Fort Keogh, Montana, showcasing traditional attire and historical significance. Hunting was essential for survival in harsh frontier communities. Frederick Monson's photograph of young women from the Sikimovi region of the Hopi tribe showcases their striking traditional dress and cultural pride. cowboys played a key role in the global economy during the late 19th century. A 1938 photo shows a firewood seller and children on Avenida Sebastião Fleury, illustrating work-life balance in Goiás. The Malakoff Tower looms in an 1880 photograph of Rua do Bom Jesus in Recife, rich in historical significance. A large crowd gathers in 1890 at Praça da República, Campo de Santana, for a Rio de Janeiro Fire Department parade. A circa 1914 view of the old Mercado do Ouro, a commercial hub in Praça Marechal Deodoro, Salvador. A card is decorated for a wedding celebration in Caxias do Sul in 1910. Men pose with weapons in Mossoró, Rio Grande do Norte, on June 13, 1927, after repelling an attack by Lampião. A 1900 photograph of a young Native American woman in traditional attire provides a striking representation of her heritage. Originating in ancient Egypt, branding spread to Europe and the American Southwest. A 1899 photograph by Frank Reinhardt captures Hattie Tom, a Chiricahua Apache woman dressed in intricate traditional clothing. The gold rush boosted demand for mail services, spurring westward expansion. A 1900 photograph of Alice, possibly from the Cayuse, Walla Walla, or Umatilla tribes, showcases her unique cultural identity. Six-year-old Ruby Bridges, escorted by federal agents, attends her first day at a white elementary school in the segregated South, 1960. A German POW returns home to find his house bombed and his family gone. 1946. A railway signal worker who lost both legs works with his baboon assistant, Jack, in South Africa. 1880. August 6, 1945, a clock in Hiroshima, Japan, stopped at 8:15 a.m., the time of the atomic bombing. The partially melted minute hand is visible. The quote, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds," is referenced. A Serbian soldier sleeps next to his visiting father at the front line. 1914. August 6, 1945, Hiroshima. The shadow of the Hiroshima bombing is shown, with radiation marks visible where people were vaporized. May 1945, a woman walks through a ruined Berlin street after the Battle of Berlin, the final confrontation in the European theater of World War II. World War I, a Canadian soldier comforts an injured Belgian baby whose mother was killed by artillery fire. The Café Globo on Duque de Caxias Street in Vitoria, Espírito Santo, started as a coffee shop before adding meals and drinks. Workers and locomotives are shown in 1909, constructing a railway linking Caxias do Sul, Montenegro, and Porto Alegre. Carts carry goods from Colônia de Santa Felicidade in Curitiba in a 1957 photograph. The old São Paulo Cathedral is seen in a tranquil 1880 photo capturing daily life in the city. Which one resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you loved this journey through time, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with history buffs in your life. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.